Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt like women expect certain things from you but never actually say them out loud, you're not alone. Most women have unspoken desires in relationships, not because they want to be secretive, but because they assume the right man will naturally understand and respond to them. But here's the challenge: men and women communicate differently. While men tend to value directness, women often express their needs through subtle cues, body language, and emotional responses, rather than outright statements. This means that even if a woman deeply appreciates something you do, she might never explicitly ask for it. In today's video, we're breaking down the key things that 99.9% of women want from a man, but won't tell you outright. These behaviors build emotional connection, trust, and attraction in a way that words alone never could. Understanding these hidden desires will set you apart as a high-value man, whether in a relationship or looking to build stronger connections. So stay with me until the end, because once you recognize these signals and apply them in your life, you'll notice a dramatic shift in how women respond to you. Let's get started. 1. Active listening and emotional awareness. Women often communicate their emotions not through direct words, but through the subtle nuances of body language, shifts in tone, and fleeting expressions. While men might rely on straightforward statements to convey their thoughts, women expect a deeper emotional awareness from those they connect with. A man who can read between the lines, who notices the quick downturn of her lips when something bothers her, or the slight hesitation in her voice before she answers, gains an advantage that many overlook. Tuning into these non-verbal cues requires more than just hearing words. It demands active listening. When a woman shares something about her day, concerns, or even an offhand comment, she often tests the waters to see if he truly pays attention. The way she leans in when interested, crosses her arms when uncomfortable, or tilts her head when intrigued, all provide clues to her emotional state. A man who recognizes these signals and responds accordingly builds an unspoken connection that fosters trust and emotional intimacy. This level of awareness extends beyond just decoding her feelings. It influences how a man interacts with her daily, remembering small details, how she takes her coffee, the story she told last week about her friend, or how she lights up when discussing a specific topic, makes her feel seen. It's not grand gestures that create deep attraction, but rather the accumulation of these seemingly minor moments. A woman feels closest to the man who tries to understand her without being told, and responds to her emotions without her having to spell them out. Ultimately, this quiet attentiveness, more than any words, makes her feel genuinely valued. 2. Thoughtful gestures and small acts of kindness. Women do not build trust through grand gestures or occasional moments of romance. While these moments may be memorable, they are not what create long-term security in a relationship. Instead, trust is built through consistency, through the small, everyday actions that show reliability, emotional stability, and genuine care. A woman feels secure not because a man makes promises, but because he consistently follows through on what he says. Many men underestimate the power of small acts of reliability. They believe trust is earned through sweeping declarations of love or significant commitments. Still, it is in the little things, texting when promised, remembering important details, showing up on time, and being emotionally present when she needs support. These seemingly minor acts accumulate, reinforcing her sense of security and deepening her emotional investment in the relationship. In contrast, inconsistency erodes trust quickly. A man who says one thing but does another, is attentive one day and distant the next, or makes commitments he does not keep, unknowingly weakening the foundation of the relationship. A woman may not immediately walk away, but will begin withdrawing emotionally, sensing the instability. Reliability is not about perfection, but about showing up consistently. A man who demonstrates emotional steadiness is present in words and actions and creates a sense of predictability in the best way by being a constant source of support, will be the one she trusts deeply. Trust is not a single moment, it is a pattern, and a man who understands this will always stand apart. 3. Adapting to her changing preferences over time. A woman's desires, priorities, and emotional needs shift as she moves through different stages of life. What excites and fulfills her at 20 may not hold the same weight when she reaches 30 or 40. While she may be drawn to spontaneity, adventure, and the thrill of the unknown in her early years, time and experience often reshape these preferences. She begins to value depth over excitement, stability over unpredictability, and emotional security over fleeting passion. The man who understands this evolution and adapts accordingly remains significant in her life, while the one who resists change often finds himself left behind. Many men assume that if they once captured a woman's heart, she will always desire the same things from them. However, relationships are not static, nor are the people within them. A woman who once admired a man for his carefree attitude may later long for someone who offers a sense of grounding. If he fails to recognize this shift, if he continues playing the same role he did years ago, he risks becoming irrelevant to her emotional world. The most successful relationships are those where a man remains perceptive to these changes, willing to grow alongside her rather than holding on to a past version of their connection. This doesn't mean abandoning one's core identity to meet every new expectation. Instead, it means being attuned to her emotional landscape, recognizing when her priorities evolve, and adapting to strengthen the bond rather than weaken it. A man who is rigid in his ways may find himself perplexed when the woman who once adored him no longer seems as invested. But a man who embraces the dynamic nature of relationships, who listens, understands, and responds, cultivates something far more valuable: long-term compatibility. He remains not just her lover but her partner through the ever-changing currents of life. 4. Massage her sincerely. Physical touch is one of the most fundamental ways to communicate care, support, and emotional security. For women, gestures like a sincere hug, a gentle massage, or even a reassuring touch on the back can create a deep connection that words often fail to achieve. These simple acts go beyond physical contact. They release oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and trust. When given with sincerity and without expectation, they reinforce emotional closeness in ways that can transform a relationship. Many women hesitate to ask for physical reassurance openly, even in loving relationships. They may long for it, but are unsure when or how to express their need. This is why men who instinctively recognize these moments and offer touch in a thoughtful, appropriate manner stand out. A well-timed hug when overwhelmed or a soothing touch on her hand when she's anxious can speak volumes. It shows attentiveness, care, and an unspoken promise that she's not alone. What makes these gestures powerful is their authenticity. A hug given out of genuine affection feels different from one that comes with expectation. A message that exists purely to ease her tension, rather than as a means to an end, fosters a more profound sense of safety and appreciation. When a woman feels that physical affection is given freely, without pressure or ulterior motives, she relaxes into the relationship, strengthening the emotional bond between her and her partner. Many men overlook the importance of nonverbal connection. or assume that physical closeness is only meaningful in specific contexts. In reality, the most profound moments of intimacy often stem from the smallest gestures. A touch that says, "I see you, I'm here for you," carries far more weight than words alone. It reminds a woman that her emotions are acknowledged, her presence is valued, and her connection with her partner is built on something more profound than routine interactions. 5. Standing up for her in subtle ways. Women may not always express it openly, but they sincerely value a man's ability to stand up for them in subtle yet meaningful ways. It's not about engaging in unnecessary conflicts or proving dominance. Instead, it's about demonstrating quiet support in moments that matter, moments that reveal his reliability, emotional intelligence, and commitment. When a woman shares her thoughts in a discussion, she notes how her partner reacts. Does he dismiss her opinions, remain neutral, or subtly reinforce her perspective? Even when she can defend herself, how a man engages in these moments matters. A simple statement of agreement at the right time or a well-placed remark reinforcing her stance can make her feel valued and understood. Beyond conversations, support manifests in real-world interactions. When she faces a professional, social, or emotional challenge, a man's response tells her everything she needs to know. Does he offer reassurance, help her navigate the situation, or stand by her when she feels vulnerable? Women notice grand gestures and small, quiet acts of solidarity. These moments build trust and emotional security, reinforcing the belief that he is someone she can rely on. Even in situations where she feels uncomfortable, a man's ability to subtly step in without overstepping is powerful. Whether it's disengaging her from an awkward social encounter, redirecting a tense conversation, or simply being present when she needs him, these actions speak volumes. They show that he is paying attention, values her well-being, and is willing to act, not just observe. Women are highly attuned to how their partners handle these moments because they signal long-term dependability. A man who consistently shows up in small but significant ways earns more trust and attraction. She may not always voice her appreciation outright, but she feels it. And over time, these quiet demonstrations of support become the foundation of a lasting connection. 6. Creating a safe space for emotional vulnerability. Women seek connection on a deeper level, beyond surface interactions or fleeting moments of attraction. While chemistry and physical appeal may initiate interest, emotional security sustains a meaningful relationship. A woman needs to feel that she can be vulnerable without fear of judgment, that her thoughts and emotions are heard, and that her partner is a safe place to express herself. She will not consistently articulate this directly, but she will test a man's ability to create this emotional refuge in subtle ways. Many men underestimate the importance of this, assuming that problem-solving or offering logical advice is the best way to respond when a woman opens up. However, she truly craves validation, someone who listens without immediately jumping to conclusions or solutions. When she shares her worries, frustrations, or personal struggles, she isn't necessarily looking for an answer. She's seeking reassurance that her emotions are understood and respected. A man who brushes off her concerns, changes the subject, or minimizes her feelings unknowingly builds a wall between them, making her hesitate to be vulnerable. A woman feels closest to a man who makes communication effortless, where she doesn't have to second-guess whether she is too much or too emotional. This level of emotional safety is created through consistent actions, showing empathy, being present in conversations, and keeping her confidence is sacred. Knowing her words are heard and truly absorbed, she will naturally deepen her trust and emotional investment in the relationship. A man who masters this art of emotional receptivity doesn't need grand gestures to win a woman's heart. By simply being a steady, non-judgmental presence, he becomes someone she longs to confide in, someone she turns to in moments of uncertainty. In the long run, emotional safety transforms attraction into lasting intimacy. 7. Recognizing and complimenting her efforts. Women invest immense energy into their lives, curating their appearance, advancing their careers, and striving for personal growth. Yet, despite their constant effort, they rarely demand recognition outright. They don't ask for praise, but they do feel its absence. A woman who works hard wants to be seen, not just for her beauty, but for her discipline, intelligence, and the thought she puts into everything she does. Many men fall into the habit of offering generic compliments, "You look great," or "nice job," without honestly acknowledging what makes her unique. While such remarks may be appreciated, they lack the depth that makes a woman feel genuinely recognized. A compliment highlighting her attention to detail, how a particular color brings out her eyes, her ability to command a room during a presentation, or the discipline it takes to maintain a fitness routine, resonates far deeper. It signals that a man is paying attention to the surface and the essence of who she is. Women are naturally drawn to those who appreciate their efforts without overindulgence. Excessive flattery can feel insincere, but a well-placed acknowledgement of her strengths fosters connection. A man who notices her quiet achievements, how she navigates a challenging situation, supports those around her, or the passion she pours into a personal project, creates a lasting impression. He becomes someone she associates with feeling valued and understood, which deepens attraction on a fundamental level. Genuine appreciation is about presence. It's about noticing what others overlook, offering validation where it matters most, and making her feel seen without asking. A woman who feels recognized for her effort feels more than just admired. She feels understood. 8. Understanding her social and cultural boundaries. Women invest immense energy into their lives, curating their appearance, advancing their careers, and striving for personal growth. Yet despite their constant effort, they rarely demand recognition outright. They don't ask for praise, but they do feel its absence. A woman who works hard wants to be seen, not just for her beauty, but for her discipline, intelligence, and the thought she puts into everything she does. Many men fall into the habit of offering generic compliments. "You look great," or "nice job," without honestly acknowledging what makes her unique. While such remarks may be appreciated, they lack the depth that makes a woman feel genuinely recognized. A compliment highlighting her attention to detail, how a particular color brings out her eyes, her ability to command a room during a presentation, or the discipline it takes to maintain a fitness routine, resonates far deeper. It signals that a man is paying attention to the surface and the essence of who she is. Women are naturally drawn to those who appreciate their efforts without overindulgence. Excessive flattery can feel insincere, but a well-placed acknowledgement of her strengths fosters connection. A man who notices her quiet achievements, how she navigates a challenging situation, supports those around her, or the passion she pours into a personal project, creates a lasting impression. He becomes someone she associates with feeling valued and understood, which deepens attraction on a fundamental level. Genuine appreciation is about presence. It's about noticing what others overlook, offering validation where it matters most, and making her feel seen without asking. A woman who feels recognized for her effort feels more than just admired. She feels understood. 9. Aligning with her personal growth and future goals. A woman evaluates a man's long-term potential by how he makes her feel in the present and by how well he aligns with her vision for the future. She looks for someone who understands and supports her ambitions, whether they involve career advancement, personal development, or lifestyle aspirations. A man who genuinely invests in her growth by asking thoughtful questions, offering encouragement, and celebrating her progress creates a more profound connection beyond fleeting attraction. Many men misunderstand this dynamic. Some try to control a woman's journey, imposing their expectations or subtly discouraging her independence. Others remain indifferent, assuming her goals are irrelevant if the relationship is stable. Both approaches create distance rather than intimacy. A woman wants to feel that her partner respects her ambitions and sees her evolution as something worth supporting, rather than something that threatens the relationship. The men who leave a lasting impact offer unwavering support without attempting to mold her into their ideal version of a partner. They recognize that a woman's fulfillment in life extends beyond the relationship itself. When a man actively listens, offers constructive feedback, and adapts to her evolving needs, she sees him as a valuable presence in her life, rather than just another person demanding her attention. Attraction may be sparked by chemistry, but it is sustained through alignment. A woman who feels that a man is invested in her long-term growth will naturally be more invested in the relationship. The strongest bonds are built not on control or complacency, but on a shared journey where both partners feel encouraged to become their best selves. Many women won't openly express these desires, but they sincerely appreciate men who naturally integrate them into daily interactions. Being observant, emotionally attuned, and consistently supportive strengthens trust, emotional connection, and long-term relationship success. A high-value man doesn't just listen to words, he pays attention to unspoken needs and responds accordingly. The key is not grand gestures, but everyday consistency in understanding, supporting, and respecting her. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you noticed these unspoken desires in your own experiences? How do you navigate them in your relationships? Share your insights in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more valuable content on relationships, self-improvement, and understanding female psychology. See you in the next one.